Hello, beautiful people. Hello, YouTube. Made it just in time again to do this live with the sunset, which, if you've been watching my lives, you know that I'm loving this. And I am hosting tonight, like very late for me, Australian. It's like 1 a.m. for me. I am part of a workshop. So it's like a big 3-day workshop with a bunch of other incredible women. All of the details are on my Instagram stories, but I am the first to present, and I'm going to be speaking specifically about identity. And if you want the replay of not only my workshop, but the amazing other women, just come and let me know on Instagram. But I want to, because I'm in the vibe of speaking identity and I've been having these conversations with my clients today, as it has been client call day, I thought, what better YouTube live than to speak about identity and shifting your identity? And this is pillar 2, phase 2 of my woman mastery framework. And the reason that I've created this as phase 2 is I truly believe that if you don't do any type of focus on your identity shifting, on your reprogramming of your embodiment of who you're becoming, nothing is going to stick. You can do, this is why I have 3 phases, but you can do all of the inner work you want. You can have all of the affirmations you want. You can change your habits and your routines. But if you haven't fully shifted into the brand new identity, which it is brand new, if you don't know how to solidify that, a lot of the women I work with, the high achieving women I work with, one of their biggest fears is not being able to maintain change. So if you struggle with that, if that's a fear of yours, definitely continue watching this, get out your journal, take notes. And one of the reasons why women find themselves in cycles of not being able to maintain change, not being able to sustain all of the habits, all of the belief shifts, all of the just daily things that they're doing, is because they haven't fully shifted into the identity and embodied that identity. Framework that I teach my clients, a framework that I'm going to be teaching in this workshop. I'm just going to give you a little like snippet of what that looks like. This framework is called the upside down why framework. So as it suggests, upside down why. So again, upside down why. Here, old identity, new identity, and then in this bit, in the actual upside down part of the why, you've got the in between identity. Most people believe they go from the old identity straight to the new identity, and it's like, let me change my belief system, let me change my habits, let me just change my clothes, and then that's solidified. But what happens is, we often, especially if you're doing this work a lot and you've been doing this work for a while, and maybe you're at this point where it's like, okay, I'm doing all of this, I'm doing the inner work, the personal development, the actual tangible steps, but it doesn't actually feel like I am a new person, or I just can't connect to that. This is probably why. And so I see a lot of high achieving women, they get stuck in this in between section where they haven't actually been able to expand their energetic capacity to be someone different. And they haven't fully come to terms with, number one, grieving their old identity and letting go of an identity and their subconscious identity that is no longer serving them. And two, actually being able to repeat what is going to solidify their brand new identity. I think sometimes we want to like shift and change within a matter of days or a matter of weeks. It takes time. It takes time to rewire and retrain your brain. It takes time to, if you are dressing a new way, if you are speaking a new way, holding yourself, presenting yourself a new way, it takes time for the body to get used to that, for the nervous system to get used to that. And so start to look at, like, what are your in-between traits? What are the things that are kind of heading into the brand new you, but are things that are keeping you in the old you? And normally anytime that we can identify a trait when we are changing our identity that is keeping us in the old you, we need to ask the question, how am I benefiting from staying in this trait? How am I benefiting from this cycle that has created my identity? And then something else that I want to put on top of this is also looking at what are the I am statements that you are saying day to day. Obviously, this concept and this framework, because I teach in my clients, we go a lot deeper. But these are the things I want you to start thinking of and start to even draw it out, right? And you can start there. Like, I love to give really practical things on this channel, especially these lives I've been doing, but start there. And so even looking at the I am state, are you constantly saying I'm lazy, I am tired, I'm exhausted, I'm burnt out, I am poor, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not pretty, I'm fat, I'm ugly? Like, what are the things you were constantly saying? Those I am statements are the things that are building up an identity. Imagine if you have like a piece of clay in front of you, and you are molding your version of your new self. It's not going to look or energetically feel very nice if it's made up of like, and all each piece of clay is an I am statement. Now imagine if you're building this mold of yourself, and it's like, I am ugly, I am poor, I am not worthy, I'm stupid, I am lazy, I'm not determined. Like, imagine, and then you get to the end and you've built this mold from these I am statements that aren't serving you. Of course, your whole identity is going to be rooted in that. So instead, start to think, how am I creating this mold that are the I am statements, that are the traits that are where I want to move into? And I think that a lot of people, what they don't understand about self-concept work, identity reprogramming, is the repetition of it, but also knowing it's going to feel really, really uncomfortable. You may have this vision of your higher self and put her on a pedestal a little bit, but that's going to be very, very uncomfortable for you. Even an example is one of my clients that I'm working with, specifically with business. She is really remolding herself at the moment with her current business identity. And we even recognize today the subconscious identity behaviors and thought processes that are keeping her in this in between. So she's been doing this work and she feels this shift, and then all of a sudden the subconscious mind goes, we feel like SOS, we're feeling a little bit uncomfortable. And so she started shifting more so into the older identity. And so catching yourself, having the awareness, having the accountability, making sure that you're self-reflecting. If you are not doing it daily, which you should be, because it only takes a couple of minutes, you don't need to spend hours on self-reflecting. You need to make sure that you're doing it at the end of every week. How am I going? Who am I being? How am I presenting myself? Or am I seeing that every single week, week in, week out, I am representing the exact same type of person? I'm being the exact same type of person. And that is a key reflection piece. And so I'm going to leave it there. I wanted this to be super short live. I am holding also my workshop for Match for Money, my group coaching program. We've got the second week coming up very shortly. So I'm going to get prepared for that. But if you resonated with any of this, this is phase 2 inside of my mastermind, Will Mastery Mastermind. It's all about elevating your success and your fulfillment in your wealth, your relationships, your career, or business. So whatever this next level, whatever the upgrade is for you, the mastermind through subconscious reprogramming is going to get you there, is going to elevate you. Because I think a lot of people, a lot of high achieving women and ambitious women, they have big ambitions, they have great desires and big pictures and visualizations for their life, but it's like they don't know how to use everything they know. And so Will Mastery Mastermind really is for the high achieving woman that has been doing this work for a while, but she's so ready to become the leader of her life, and not just living her life like, okay, it's kind of content, it's kind of good, but actually leading her life, mastering the different elements of her life. So if you resonated with this, if you're resonating with anything that I'm sharing in these lives and my podcast as well, the Jessica Pinili podcast, I highly, highly recommend that you you apply. It's an application process. Apply, and if you have any questions, come and chat to me over on Instagram. But I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll speak to you in the next live. Bye.